Welcome to my Yin Yoga practice for Muladhara, the root chakra. So as we progress throughout this practice, we're going to bring awareness not only to the root chakra, which is located at the very base of the spine, but also to the bones, as the root chakra is about foundation. It's about our basic needs, structure. So the bones and grounding into the earth, and also to a sense of safety, a sense of completely letting go and relaxing and feeling calm and safe and supported in the practice. So we're going to start this practice in a cross-legged seated position, and I want you to take the cross-legged position that is slightly challenging for you. So not one that you're completely relaxing, something that you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch. So at the moment I'm comfortably sitting on a bolster, and for me, I'm not feeling anything too much. For you, this might be what you're working on. Or maybe you're going to come down and sit on the floor, and maybe you're going to prop underneath your knees, like so, for your cross-legged position, or put pillows. So make sure you have your props handy. If you don't have anything, go grab a few pillows, put me on pause, grab a few pillows, a bolster if you have it, blocks. Or maybe you've been practicing with me a little while, and half lotus pose would be good for you. So we're going to spend 2 minutes wherever is comfortable for you. So I'm taking half lotus today. But we're going to take the right leg in front first. So we're going to do 2 minutes on each side. So I have my handy timer here. And just relax into it. So you can take your Gayam mudra, sorry. And you can sit with your thumb and forefinger joint. Relax through the shoulders. Close the eyes and just bring the awareness to the breath and to the sensations in the body. So just noticing where you're feeling that little bit of a stretch. So no sharpness, no pain. Remember, we don't go to our deepest level, because if you do that, the body will be too uncomfortable and you'll start to tense up. So we try and make ourselves as relaxed as possible in the pose, but at the same time we're feeling something, a stretch, a sensation. So make sure the spine is nice and long, crown of the head going up towards the ceiling, and feel that base, that root chakra, grounding into the floor beneath you. If you want to, you can bring to mind Shushumna, that central line of the body, and inhale from your root chakra, from your tailbone, all the way up to the crown of the head, and then exhale all the way back down to the tip of the tailbone. So following that central line in the body, and maybe you could send that red energy up and down the central line. So maybe you can visualize the breath as red energy, the color of the root chakra, going up and down the spine with the breath. So now we're going to swap to the other side. So wherever you are in your cross-legged position, take your left leg on top or in front. And we'll spend 2 minutes there. So set yourself up, bring your props. Adjust your props as you need to. Remember, one side might be different to the other. And then sitting, relaxing the shoulders down once more, relaxing all the muscles in the face, the jaw. Bring your awareness to the breath and the sensations in the body. So grounding down that tailbone into the earth below, lengthening up through the spine, chest, ribs nice and open. And taking a moment to just notice how you are today. Ask yourself, how am I feeling today? And try not to be judgmental about that. Know that it's okay to not be feeling the best today. Give yourself a little bit of TLC. And not feeling guilty for whatever you're feeling. Just acknowledging it, noticing. Giving yourself the permission to feel. Okay. So we'll make our way now onto our hands and knees. We're going to come into our child's pose. So coming onto your hands and knees. Coming into your child's pose. If you want to put a blanket, if you don't have, I've given myself a nice cozy blanket here today. But if you want to put something underneath the knees, do. If you want to put something underneath the feet, if you feel a little bit too much going on in the front of the ankles, you could put a little bit of a blanket underneath there. You can also put a cushion or a blanket in underneath to support the knees. If there's a little bit too big a bend on your knees. And then you can always bring something in front as well. So we're going to spend 4 minutes here. So relax yourself down. Relax the forehead. You can put a block or a cushion underneath the head if you want to, and just stretch the arms out. Lengthening through the spine. And drawing that tailbone down, so being aware once again of Muladhara, the root chakra, but also being aware of the structure of the bones, your foundation. And feel the space opening up between the bones. So as you stretch out through the arms, feel that space in the wrists, in the elbows, even in the fingers, the joints of the fingers, in the shoulders, the ribs, and all the vertebrae in the spine. So trying to create as much length as possible, but not lifting the buttocks up. So keep the buttocks grounded where they are. If you want to, you can visualize Muladhara as a red ball of light. And as you can feel that ball of light expanding into the sitting bones, into the pelvis, into the whole lower part of the torso, into the lower abdomen. And then on the exhale, feeling that ball of light contracting back down and intensifying as it gets smaller, so becoming a more vibrant colour. Getting ready on the inhale to expand out through the whole lower body again. So once again, going to the point that feels like a stretch for you, where you feel something. So just 45 seconds left here. So slowly making your way back. And just taking a moment. If you feel like you need to move, you can come into your down dog. Maybe give yourself a little walk in your down dog. And then when you're ready, coming back onto your hands and knees. Okay, so we're going to come back onto the hands and knees here, but we're going to do a little stretch into the toes, and we're going to feel ourselves grounding down, feeling the energy going down into the feet and into the floor below. This can be a little bit of a tricky one if you haven't done it very much. You can get very stiff across here, so across the toes. So if you want to take the pressure off a little bit, you can lift up your knees and see how that feels. See if that feels better or worse. And see how long you can stay here. So we'll set the timer for 3 minutes, okay? So we'll set the timer for 3 minutes and we'll just see. It's not one that I do too often either. So just see how you feel. And just breathe into it. Feel your root chakra here at the very base of your spine. And send the energy down into the earth. Rest your hands on your thighs, or once again you can come into your chin mudra here. Lengthen up through the spine, relax the shoulders down. And just breathe. could visualize, if you close your eyes, you could visualize that red orb of energy. You could visualize a symbol from Muladhara. So if you look on the page there with the Bija mantra, you can visualize that symbol for Muladhara. And just go with what you're feeling. So just have a curiosity about what you're feeling. So we have 1 more minute left. If you want to, you can pause or you can stop. I'm just readjusting my pillow a little bit. So giving myself a little bit more height. So the more you lift the knees, the less stress across those bones in the feet, joints in the feet. So 20 seconds left. Again, you can fast forward if 1 minute is enough for you, or 2 minutes if the full 3 minutes is a little bit too much the first couple of times you practice. Okay. So very slowly coming back out. Spend a few moments just being with it. You can move if you want to move. Our next posture is dangling, which is a forward fold. And it should feel really good now to ground the feet into the earth after that practice. So we're just going to come with our feet a comfortable distance apart so that you feel nice and solid. So our tendency is if you have the feet close together, you can feel a little bit like they're rubbing off each other and a little bit unbalanced. So make sure you've got a really good solid foundation. So take the feet as wide as you need to. We're going to spend 4 minutes here just relaxing forward. So take a nice soft bend in the knees. If you want to, you can put a block underneath the hands. If you want to be here, up a little higher, rather than dangling the arms. Or underneath the head, if that works for you, to support the head. And just breathe into it. Notice what you're feeling. Notice where you're feeling it. And feel those feet grounding into the earth. Having a little bit of a curiosity as to what you're feeling. Make little adjustments if you need to. Move the toes around a little. See if you can separate the toes a little more. See if you can press the tops of the toes into the floor. At the same time, grounding the heels down. Maybe you can feel the balls of the feet and the sides of the feet pressing into the floor. So we have 2 more minutes here. Again, if you need to take a break from this one, if this is enough for you today, and you want to fast forward or just even take the extra few minutes to bring movement into the body, you can do that. Just become aware of the strength in the legs, the bones in the legs, as they ground down into the floor, supporting the body. And the tailbone shoot up towards the ceiling. At the same time, sending that energy down the legs so you can visualize your red colour again as it shoots down the legs and into the floor, creating a good solid foundation. So we're just 25 more seconds left. So slowly making our way out of the pose. So see what feels good for you. See what you feel you need to do. So I'm feeling like a little bit of a windscreen light wipe for me. So I'm just going to sit on my tailbone and just windscreen wipe my knees from side to side. Okay. So for our next posture, we're going to come into a squat. And I'm going to show you a few options. For some people, there's tightness, maybe in the Achilles here, the back of the heel, and putting the heels down onto the floor does not work. So what you can do is roll up a bit of a blanket and pop it underneath your heels, like so. And adjust as you need to. If you find this really, really difficult, you can have, once again, your chair in front of you. And you can hold on to the sides of the chair. So we're going to go for 4 minutes here. But once again, if 2, 3 minutes is enough for you today, then just forward it on. So I'm just bringing my arms, my upper arms to the insides of my knees and just pushing my knees out. And then draw that tailbone once again down towards the earth. And at the same time, feel what parts of the feet are in contact with the floor beneath you, with the earth. And ground those down. And even if they're not in full contact, maybe you've got your blanket underneath, but you can still ground that part of the foot down into the blanket. So maybe just bringing awareness there to the heels. At the same time, we're trying to create length in the spine. Space between the shoulders, so we're not hunching the shoulders up by the ears. We're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And we're keeping the chest and ribs nice and open. It's a bright, sunny, crisp day today, thank goodness, after all the rain that we've been having. So it's nice to have a little bit of brightness, a little bit of sunshine. So we have a minute and a half left. You can visualize Shushumna, and you can inhale that red energy, Muladhara, that grounding energy, the energy that makes us feel safe and secure, our foundation. And you can set it up and down, Shushumna. So inhaling from the tailbone, from Muladhara, and send that energy all the way up through Shushumna, through the chakras, to the crown of the head. And exhaling, sending it back down to the tip of the tailbone. So we need that grounding. Muladhara is our base chakra, our root chakra. So we need that basis, that good foundation before we can work on the other chakras. It's like anything in life, we need a good foundation, a good basis, a home. We need nourishment, we need food, we need these basic things in order to succeed through the rest of our lives. So Muladhara is a really important chakra to work on. So making our way back out now. So just take your hands to the floor, support yourself, and bring your knees down. And then maybe have a little stretch here, the ankles, a little bit of a wiggle. And then maybe lifting up into a down dog, maybe walking. So coming to sitting down now. So I'm going to take my round bolster for this one. If you don't have a bolster, that's fine. We can use a pillow. And we're going to come, actually I'm going to do this way. I'm going to go out the window. So we're going to come with the soles of the feet together. So soles of the feet together for our butterfly position. Allow the knees to relax to the sides. You might want to pop a couple of blocks or cushions underneath the legs to give them that little bit of support. If you feel the weight of the legs are giving you too much of a stretch into the hips, then supporting the lower legs can help that. And then we're going to take our bolster cushion. And we're going to hug it in tight to the groin, and we're going to relax forward. So we're going to spend 4 minutes here in butterfly. So you can also prop your bolster with your blocks if you're not using them for your legs. And relax here. And see if you can shoot that tailbone, root that tailbone down once again into the floor beneath. And maybe you can feel the contact of the feet, the outside edges of the feet into the floor beneath. And maybe you can feel that energy between the feet. So you can imagine a grounding red ball of light glowing between the feet now, that little gap you have in the arches of the feet. And while we're here, relaxing in this posture, maybe think about what makes you feel safe. What makes you feel grounded? What do you need in your life to feel grounded and safe, secure? Maybe it's a sense of belonging, a sense of connection with others and with the world around you. So it could be home, it could be family, it could be a connection with nature, a walk in the woods. So what does it for you? What makes you feel grounded? What can you do to help yourself feel grounded? So we have one more minute here. So slowly, slowly, slowly making your way back up. Props to one side. Your legs stretch. So bring movement into the body if you need to. Take longer if you need to. Pause me. And our next posture is dragonfly, or wide-legged forward fold. So if you want to, you can sit on a cushion just to give you that little bit of a tilt forward so you can hinge a little bit more from the hips. Take the legs as wide as is comfortable. You can prop underneath the knees if you need to. You can put in your little blocks or little rolled up blankets or cushions underneath the knees. Give a bend on the knees if you need to. That takes a little bit of pressure off. And then once again, taking your bolster, maybe a couple of blocks, and relaxing forward. So we're going to spend 4 minutes here, relaxing, and once again grounding down. This time we're grounding the legs, the backs of the legs as well, into the floor beneath. Make yourself comfortable. Scan the body. Notice if you're holding on to any tension anywhere, if you're tensing the feet or the shoulders or the jaw. I'm trying to just relax all the areas of the body and then feel into that stretch. You can feel into the tailbone area, into the root chakra, Muladhara. You can feel like a little fire burning, bringing warmth, comfort. Feeling of connection with the earth beneath. Connection into this moment. These sensations, these emotions. Allowing them to pass through you and just observing. So we have a minute and a half left here. So slowly making your way up. Use your hands to support you and just push the floor away as you come up. Bring movement into the body as you need to. Props out of the way. Support the backs of your knees. Bring the legs together. I'm going to come down now to lying on the back. So we're going to lie on the back in what's a reverse child's pose, basically. So we're lying on the back and we're just going to rest the hands on the shins and bring the knees into the chest. And we're just going to spend a few moments there. So relaxing the shoulders down. And just feel the whole of the spine now in contact with the floor beneath. Notice how you feel, what you're feeling here. You can press certain areas of the back into the floor, so any areas that you feel are lifting, maybe just pressing them down, maybe working your way up the spine and back down again. And enjoying a sense of stillness. A minute and a half left. If you notice a resistance to the pose, observe that too. So just noticing if you feel like moving out of the pose and asking yourself why. Is it that it's too intense? Have you gone too deep? Is it that the mind is too busy? Maybe you're finding it difficult to just relax into a pose. Not judging, but just observing. Noticing our reactions and why we react. It's a great way of understanding ourselves. So putting the feet down and just windscreen wipe the knees side to side. Feels good. Sometimes a pose where there's not too many sensations that our ego thinks is a little easy for us can be more difficult. And it's more the mind that has an issue with the pose. So just observing that, noticing that. Okay, so we're coming into happy baby. Just do a pose. So make sure you're grounded on the floor. Bring the knees into the chest. And then take your hands to the outside edges of the feet. And bring the feet up towards the ceiling. So if this one is difficult for you, you can take hold underneath the knees. Or you could use a strap maybe underneath the knees. Or you could just relax them there. Relax the hands if they're relaxed there. So see what works for you. And try not to bring too much tension into the arms or into the neck. So try not to jut the chin up. Try and keep that length in the back of the neck. So chin is very lightly tucked down. Bring awareness once again to Muladhara, the root chakra. And feel it expanding and contracting with the breath. You can feel that red energy, that warm glow. The base of the spine and into the pelvis. So just a minute and a half left. So slowly relaxing the feet down. Maybe feel like giving the legs a little bit of a stretch into bridge pose, a supported bridge pose. So if you want to, if this feels good for you today, you can stay here with the knees pointing towards the ceiling. And just relax through here. You don't need to lift the pelvis at all. But then if you want to, you can lift up the pelvis. So you could start with a bolster, or so I'm just going to slide this one underneath. So you could slide a bolster underneath. Have a nice soft, yeah, feels quite good. So even if you can go higher, doesn't mean you should. So go with what feels good. Actually right now, that feels good, so I might go back to that. Let's see. Or you can put a block. If the block feels a little bit hard, you can put a blanket over the block. And the block or the support is going underneath your sacrum. So the flat triangle part of the spine. So not the lower back, but that flat part. Top of the buttocks, and then relax the shoulders down. See if that works for you. See if you can relax there. I'm going to spend 4 minutes there. So I'm going to go back to my poster today. Okay. So you rest your hands on your ribs or down by your sides with the palms facing up. Bring your awareness to the breath. Sensations in the body. So we have 2 more minutes. So slowly now, sliding that support, if you have it, away from you. Give yourself a little bit of movement, a little bit of a rock from side to side maybe. And then we'll take a twist. So take the arms out, knees into the chest, and bring the knees over to the left. Ground down the right shoulder. And then knees into the chest and over to the right. Ground down the left shoulder. So just do that a few more times. If you feel you need to do more, do more. So we're just going to do it once more on each side for this purpose. And then stretch your legs out. Come into Shavasana with the palms facing up, chin lightly tucked into the chest. Close your eyes. If that's comfortable for you, you can have a soft gaze on the eyes if you prefer. Just take a few nice deep breaths there. So I'm going to make my way up now. If you want to, you can move on to the Yoga Nidra for this series, which hopefully I'll put up this week. And at the beginning of this practice, you could do your Bija mantra, you can do your meditation that I have up there. So you can make these practices as long as you want to. You can do the Hatha practice, which I'm going to pop up for you as well. So we have a whole series of practices to support Muladhara, your root chakra. So I hope you've enjoyed this practice with me. Take care and see you soon. Namaste.